Welcome to Probably Professionals, a podcast presented by kindofcoaches.com. That website is live right now, by the way, and you should go check it out. So on this episode, it's a little shorter, a little sweeter. It's just Taylor and I talking about why we wanted to get into this. So for him, it was why he wanted to start it, and a little bit about how it started, and for me, why I wanted to join in with him and come along for the ride. So it's just a short little discussion about all of that, and we talk about ourselves way too much because we love doing it. But I hope you enjoy it, and here we go. Do my best to sound like I'm not reading from a computer monitor.
Perfect.
While also obviously reading from a computer monitor. Welcome to Probably Professionals, a podcast presented by kindofcoaches.com. My name is Blake Langford, and I'm joined today, as ever, in all 2 episodes of our history by our founder and head coach, Mr. Taylor Heath. What's up, man?
What's up, dude? Episode 2.
Yeah, where we figured it all out, and we did it perfect from start to finish.
Yes, I can't wait. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a big episode. We're joined by my dog, Grizzly. You'll probably hear him in a little bit wanting to go outside. Don't worry about that. He is fine. He is just a dog.
Yes. Other special guests on this episode include my wife, Courtney, who is sitting in the background.
In case you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, that is the lady in the back of Blake's room.
Are we're streaming right now?
Yeah,
we're live?
We are live on Twitch.
Awesome. Well, hello, all the people that are watching us on Twitch right now.
Hang on.
Oh,
Nope, nobody's watching. All right.
Okay, I didn't think so. One or both cats will probably join us at some point, but we will look forward to their presence a little later.
Great.
All right, man. Let's get started. Let's talk about what we've been working on. So, for me, if you didn't follow me on Instagram, you should at MBLangford256. I finished building a table for Courtney's birthday. I actually finished it early yesterday, but
what kind of a table was it?
In true Instagram marketing, I've posted all my pictures a day later than they actually happened. It's a console table, I believe, is the proper term for that type of table. Now, in terms of the style and era, I have no idea, because despite my being able to glue and screw a lot of pieces of wood together into something that looks pretty good, I'm not really sure all the names and terminology.
So for the people that are watching on Twitch or on YouTube or listening to this, can you, in 10 words, describe what a console table is?
I can try in 10 words. Well, are you counting? A console table is a table that holds things.
So it's a table.
10 words?
Knickknacks.
Well, okay. There were some amount of words in there. So it's basically it's like a small. It's not an end table, right? Because that's like goes next to your chair or like a nightstand or something like that.
Right.
It's not a dining table because that'd be real big and you eat off of it. A console table is basically honestly it's a useless table.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
It is a table that
it's a useless table.
It's a table.
It's a table
that holds
that
things.
holds your various knickknacks and stuff like that.
Precious family.
Yeah, pictures of our family.
Mm.
Those are on there. Some books, the oldest books we own with the rattiest looking covers, because that's pretty.
Okay. Well,
right.
So we can move on from the table discussion.
Okay. Also, I've been learning or trying to learn how to do some editing in the realm of audio editing and video editing, specifically this podcast. Right. So I just finished work. I did some intro music that Taylor's not a fan of.
No, I was not.
It's extremely cheesy, very podcast. I haven't listened to it in about 3 days, so I'm going to go back and listen to it and see if I think it sounds horrible.
I need to listen to it again. I only listened to it the one time. I wasn't a fan, but you know what? I mean, I don't have the best taste in music. I'll just go ahead and say it. So,
it's not like the music world would call it a magnum opus, which also coincidentally sounds like a great name for the next Trojan condom.
Right.
Magnum opus. Trademark.
Yeah.
it's certainly not the greatest work of my life, but it took me about 2 hours, and it was the best thing I could come up with at the time.
Hey, man, I'm proud of you. I'll just go ahead and say it.
Thanks.
So you've been working on editing the podcast and editing the videos for it. That's great because we're launching the website on Thursday. So whenever this lands in the ears of the listeners, if you want to know where we were when this happened, we are a couple of days out from our launch of our website.
That's right. We have let's talk about some goals. Some goals.
Wait,
that
I haven't told everybody what I've been working on. Do you want to?
Okay,
do you want to go to
ahead.
goals,
Yeah,
or do you
no.
want to? You want me to tell everybody what I've?
No,
been
I was.
working on?
Don't worry. You go. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So what I've been working on is finishing the website. Uploading and doing all the design for all the blogs that we're doing from all the various writers. Really spending a lot of time clicking on links and making sure they go to the correct spots. Building forms and making sure the forms and the information from the forms go to the correct spots. And just all around trying to build a company with very little knowledge on how to build a company. So that's what I've been working on this week. Other than that, I have been working at my 9-to-5 job. I'm also in school, and I also take care of a 12-year-old, which has been a nightmare the last couple of days, which we won't talk about. So that's what I've been working on this week. I know it's probably not a lot different than what I was doing last week, but as things progress, the things that I will be working on will be different. So that's what I've been working on.
Right on. I really just wanted to throw in to kind of point out some of the humor of this whole thing. We had some goals prior to launch of the website, and I'd say we've met, at least on my end, approximately none of them. But
Yeah,
we're getting
we
there.
set lofty goals. Okay, so
Apparently
one of-
they sounded real reasonable to us.
yeah.
2 months ago.
looking
but
up to. So Blake, why don't you tell everybody what our goals were for the website, and then I can run the numbers and tell everybody where we are currently.
So the biggest one that I know we're not meeting, that it's going to be okay, is we wanted 30 canned blog posts, I think.
Yeah.
And we had about a month's time to make this happen. So we thought it'd be real easy.
Yeah,
We had a
reasonable.
We had a list of 15 writers
Mhm.
that were going to write a total of 30 blog posts, which is, for anyone who's not a math wizard, that's what, each person doing 2
Yes.
over the course of a month.
Wait, let me check those numbers. Yeah, you're right.
I'm punching into my calculator, Okay.
Yeah.
So 15 people each doing 2 blog posts would have net us a grand total of 30.
Yeah.
How many blog posts we got in the can ready to go?
Well, let me just start this by saying that my vision for
It's
my
more than
vision
0.
for the
Just to be clear.
do what?
I said it's more than 0. Just so
Yes.
don't,
So my vision for the website changed. I wanted it at the start to be a website where a lot of different writers came and posted regularly, and then I quickly found out that the logistics of getting a lot of writers together and having them consistently post on a blog where they didn't get paid any money was very difficult. So I had to pivot to really having the my three closest friends, who are also my partners in this venture, really carry the burden of it. So, I mean, we do have blog posts from other writers, and another thing is I had to figure out search engine optimization, which is a whole different area of content marketing. So we have about 10 blog posts right now. I've done 6. Blake has done 1. Brian has done 2. And Matt has done 0. And then we have a couple maybe 2 or 3 from different other blog writers and such. Now, that is perfectly fine with me. It's, goal setting and goal achieving is 2 completely different things. And I'm proud of what we've accomplished so far, and I'm excited to launch on Thursday. So,
Right on. I like it.
yeah.
But yeah, so, things don't always go exactly how you plan them, but that's okay. And that brings us to our topic that I really wanted to talk about today. So kind of 2 parts here. One, I do want to get to kind of why you chose to do this, but also I would like, just say a few words about why I decided to come along with you on this grand journey we're on.
Right.
But before that, you think you could give us kind of a brief history on
I don't know how brief it's
kind of like
be.
where it all started, because it didn't start as Kind of Coaches.
No, it did not.
It started as something completely different.
Right.
That I was nonetheless 100% on board for.
Right.
And we definitely you made some pivots and you took some new directions and stuff like that. So
I
can you
did.
talk about that?
I will. So here's how this whole thing started. First of all, for my entire life, I've always known, I've always known that I've been meant for greatness, meant to build something from scratch. I've always had an entrepreneur's spirit. My family, they're all entrepreneurs. They all manage and have run successful businesses. So when I moved to Texas, and stopped all of the negative behavior that was going on and really focused all of my energy into starting a business and operating something from scratch, I formed this idea that I was going to start a technology company that was going to assist the elderly with their consumer electronics, so like their iPhones and their computers and their printers and stuff like that. I have experience in that because I've helped a lot of old people in my career as a paramedic, and then as a I guess just as an EMT.
Just real quick, how many elderly printer accidents did you encounter as a paramedic?
No printer well.
Watch out.
I actually do think I might have set up somebody's printer after I saved their life. Regardless, as far as like printer incidents go, I do have this one old guy, bless his heart, his printer just will not work for him. And he trades me life coaching and he is a doctor. I won't say his name, but his name is Dr. Roy. He trades me life coaching and advice, and in exchange, I give him tech support. So that's where the idea formed, and I was gonna go out to the greater Katy area and give tech support and advice to the elderly and anybody who wanted that. So I was gonna name it theforwardtext.com. Pretty solid name. I built a website for it and everything. And then, so one day I was on the phone with my dad, who has been a business coach for 20 years. Okay, so pretty solid understanding of what it takes to own and run a business. Told me, so we were discussing this idea, and he kind of walked me through the scaling of a business like that, and we decided that it was not worth it to build an entire business model around being in somebody's house and doing that for them, because I'm one person, okay? I'm one person that can only be in so many places. That can only be in one place at one specific time, I only have so many hours in the day to dedicate to like helping people like that. So, okay, we can't do that. We cannot limit ourselves to one market and one demographic and one service. So that I was devastated by that, because I spent a lot of time and I recruited my friends to help me with this, So I was upset about that for probably a day and a half, and then I pivoted, and I took that basic premise of offering advice and coaching and consulting, and I formed kindofcoaches.com, a place where anybody can have advice from me or from any of the coaches, and they won't have to pay an arm and a leg. And obviously we're not qualified, but we're very upfront about it. I can tell you from experience how to get from being a college dropout and an alcoholic to being a successful entrepreneur with many ideas on the horizon, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Cool.
Yeah,
I like it. I love it.
So that's where
I was there from the beginning, man.
That's where the idea came from. I recruited Blake from the beginning. He's always been my number one in everything that I do. So that's I forgot what I approached you with to help me with the forward text. Do you remember?
I don't know if you gave me like a specific, like, this is what I want you to do. I know in the beginning it was a lot of just like, hey, you want to help me with this? Like,
yeah.
Because I've been a nerd for most of my life,
Right.
and I've learned a great deal about. I've built at least 2 computers for myself, and I've helped several people build theirs, and I've fixed more than a few, and over time. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my learning curve with all things technology is usually I have a pretty easy time with it most of the time.
Right.
So, I pretty much offered in my help as like, listen, if there's a question that you're not confident on the answer to, like maybe I might have it, and I'd be willing to throw what knowledge I do have in there. And then at some point in there, you did decide that you wanted to do a podcast.
Yeah.
And I think that was the point. That was the thing that like really hooked me. Because essentially, as soon as I discovered who Joe Rogan was, I decided that I wanted to do something podcasting with my life. It just sounded like a lot of fun, man. It just gives me, because I ironically am a pretty quiet person. I don't talk a whole lot, but the idea of just talking in front of this microphone and posting it on the internet for a bunch of people to listen to,
a bunch. That's a lofty.
A bunch. As many people as possible to listen.
Well,
I don't know, whatever,
right
man.
now it says that 2 people are watching us on Twitch. That's probably counting me and Courtney right now. I don't know. Is Courtney watching?
I do not have Twitch open.
Well,
so one of those is not me. Watch out.
Oh, hold on. Somebody posted in the chat. I use the best coach ever, my girlfriend tells me. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. But Polar Nights in Twitch chat right now. Huh. I didn't even see that. If you're still there, man, what's up? So after that, I branded the kind of coaching. That angle came from when you start a website or anything like that, you have to first find a URL, and I couldn't find a URL that fit anything that I wanted, so Polar Nights just followed us on Twitch, by the way. Thank you, man. That's
nice.
That's really cool. Now that is in my mind, I can't really think. Anyway, so we were searching for a URL, and I've just came across kindofcoaches.com, and it fit so perfectly for what we were trying to do. That's what I decided was going to be my brand, and that's where we are now. We're, like I said, we're 2 days out of launch, and we're hopefully going to give advice and support to anybody who needs it, man, including Polar Nights. If you need it, go to our website and sign up for coaching.
on Thursday.
On Thursday.
Friday. Wait.
No.
What day are we launching?
We're launching on 02/22 at 2:22 p.m.
That would be Friday. Just by the way. We kind of know when we're going to launch the website.
Yeah.
Get it?
No, we know exactly when we're going to launch the website. It's 02/22 at 2:22.
All right. So that's been kind of the journey so far, I guess.
Yes. So Blake, can you tell when I pivoted to the kind of angle that we took, can you tell me like why you wanted to be a part of this besides the podcast? Specifically, like how long we've known each other and like why you would decide to jump into business with me like this.
A brief history of Taylor and Blake by Blake Langford.
And
We met
please,
each other.
before you start,
Uh-huh.
will you please not add any things that don't need to be added?
Yes, I will be as vague and non-specific as possible.
Perfect.
We met each other in 2008, right? When
Yeah.
we first got to
08.
college.
First year of college.
And for her first year too.
We weren't there yet.
Yeah, she didn't like me very much back then. Anyway, it's not about me. So yeah, we met in 2008. We were both in. We were going to University of North Alabama at the time, and we were both in UNA's band, their marching band. And we were both on the drum line. So
Yep.
naturally, I don't know how many people out there went to college, or were 18 at some point, but I'm sure you already know what 18-year-old college students like to do.
Yes. You can take a wild guess.
Right. So obviously we formed a tight-knit study group
Yes.
from the day one. We joined up the same fraternity, which was all about academic performance and productivity.
Yeah. A lot of late night study nights.
Tons of them. So I can barely remember all the studying we did.
Anyway, moving on.
So yeah, we were in all the same circles. We were just, we were really thrust into each other, and I don't, it was like a friendship from the beginning.
Yeah.
we were.
So
We weren't in the same pledge class. You were the one.
yeah,
after?
I was the one right after you. So
Okay.
to moving forward, we went to college for a long time, longer than anybody ever should.
Yeah, longer than you're supposed
I
to.
eventually dropped out. Blake got about this close to graduating, then he dropped out. And then we lived together twice on two separate occasions for a total of about 3 years. So we're needless to say, we're best friends, business partners. I was the best man in his wedding that was like a month ago, and so here we are now.
Actually, our website is launching on the 2-month anniversary of this right
There
here.
you go. It was completely intentional.
Yeah, that was always the plan, because as everyone knows, like if you make it 2 months, you're pretty much set for life. So
Yes.
yeah, we can go tombstone
So
shopping tomorrow.
Blake has been married for 2 months, and that uniquely qualifies him to give marriage advice and counseling. So if you need any marriage advice or marriage counseling, you just hit Blake up on Polar Night says congrats on your wedding, dude.
Thank you.
That's so cool that somebody's watching us.
Yeah, as we hit like the stream to Twitch button, I don't think we really expected
Not a single person.
anything.
Yeah. So so that is a brief history of us. That's why he would want to be a part of a harebrained idea like kindofcoaches.com. We are both here because we have been just at rock bottom, and well, yeah, I'll say I was at rock bottom. I don't know about you. I don't want to speak for you, but We've been there and we've clawed our way to the top. We are both successful at everything we do now. And we are gonna give advice on how to get there from where you are. So yeah, on to segments.
Segments.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the deal with segments. Clearly, we lack a little bit of creativity and forethought when it comes to segments. If you end up listening to the last podcast, I mean, it was a great time. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't be handing out any awards. Is there a podcast award show?
We can make one. We call it
There has to be like a
call it kind of a podcast award show. I wonder if
we'll just give out
I wonder
awards.
if there was a podcast award show. I wonder if it would be like on video or would that be like weird? And
right? Would it just be a podcast?
Would it just be a podcast? I don't know. So
that's interesting.
That's something to explore on a separate podcast.
Right. Well, also, we're going to be handing out some awards on one of our podcasts. To who? I don't know what they're going to be. Who knows?
Right now, Polar Night.
Will the winners of those awards
Polar
find
Night,
out that they won an award?
Right now, Polar Nights gets the award for coolest Twitch follower.
Only Twitch follower. No, seriously, I think.
Yeah. So for segments this week, again, we're going to make one up. And my okay, so last week you had hot names, which was hilarious.
Hot names.
Yes. We're definitely going to have to do that again. But this week we're going to do find the first thing that you can put your hands on, and we're going to do a product review about it, okay? There you go. There you go. So Courtney, you will go last. Right now I'm going to do a review on this bottle of Topo Chico. This half-empty bottle of Topo Chico. If you guys didn't know, Topo Chico is mineral water. You can really only get it in Texas. Well, you can get it pretty much anywhere, but it's like abundant in Texas. So it is just refreshing, and it's doesn't have any sugar or anything in it. The reason that I drink it the most, and this is kind of a coaching tip. Kind of. I used to be a bad alcoholic. I used to drink all day, every day. You were there. It used to be one of my favorite pastimes was just waking up and drinking. I started drinking. Well, First of all, I quit drinking, and then I found Topo Chico, and it's like having a beer, except you don't. It doesn't have any alcohol in it, so that's why I drink them all the time. I drink these things constantly. If you ever see me, I'll always have one in my hand, and Topo Chico. That was a desktop product review.
I don't think I've ever had mineral water.
Oh
ever.
man, don't. Well, you should start.
Have you had mineral water?
I have not.
I don't even know. Can you get it now? Is it I mean, we got Whole Foods up here, so.
I can get it at Kroger.
All right, well, I have a lot of stuff on my desk, but the first thing that caught my eye is this little remote right here. So for people that are just listening, it's just a little remote. It's got 6 buttons on it, 3 sets of 2. Each of them say on and off. Pretty common practice for switches. What this does is it controls. This is like dumb smart tech. All right. Mm-hmm. So if this was a smart tech, it would be a Wi-Fi outlet that I can control with my phone. However, those are expensive, and just money doesn't grow on trees. So this is like dumb smart tech. There's 3 outlets strategically placed around my room, and I control them with this little remote. So I can flip them all off, and if you're watching video, you just saw all my lights turn out except my exceedingly bright computer monitor here, and then I can push these little buttons and turn each one of my lights on. And so normally I just have as few lights on as possible and keep it nice and low and romantic in here. But I found that is not very flattering for camera, so I have a couple other lights that I like to turn on. And and get the finer details of my face and all of that stuff. And it kind of looks like, I mean, okay, so where I am right now, it's 7:46 p.m. and it's quite dark outside, but this like super bright light over here makes it look like it's the middle of the day and all my windows are open. So that's kind of cool.
Man.
So
What would you give that? What would you call that? A remote control? What would you give that? 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10. I mean, it does exactly what it was advertised to do. It does it pretty well, and it hasn't failed me yet. So I mean, we're still a solid 10 at least, right?
A 10.
I mean, because well, I mean, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. So, of products in this category, of which I've tried one, this does exactly what it was described to do.
Cool.
So,
Hey man,
I see no faults, and all the outlets are 3-prong as well. So I mean,
man, it doesn't get any better than that.
right? I can put anything on this except for like a space heater, I guess. But, yeah. So yeah, solid little product, man. I got it from Walmart, which is where all the sophisticated people shop around here.
Yes.
In Alabama. So yeah, do you want to give a review on your Doom bag?
Well, no, you kind of have to now.
Or you can just play us a little tune.
It's a drum.
It's a drum.
What kind of drum?
Pretty awesome. It's a drum bag.
It's called a Doombeck. Yeah, you make two characteristic sounds, the Doom and the Beck.
My dad has this thing about buying me like world drumming equipment.
Can you hear her?
I have
Yeah.
many different things, and he likes to go to Guitar Center and buy the craziest drums he can find.
That's awesome. I wish my dad would do
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I think he just walks into Guitar Center and just like looks around.
He bought himself a ukulele. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's by Meinl.
Yeah, it's made by Meinl Corporation, whose logo is a P and an A. I don't really understand that. But.
Well, cool, man. Okay, so moving on from segments.
Before we move on, just a quick word about the segments. We're gonna keep doing these improv segments where, like that one, I had no idea what that segment was about to be. I told Taylor that he was gonna do the segment today, and that was it. That was the only knowledge I had of it. So we're gonna kind of keep doing that for a few more episodes, just to see kind of what we come up with. And some of them are probably going to be a lot of fun. Like that was okay. That was pretty cool.
Desktop product reviews. I think that's a pretty good one.
Yeah. I don't know if we could keep doing it because like I only keep so many things on my desk.
Well, you got to keep adding things to your desk. That's the point.
That's just.
It's like,
we
what you would do is you would find something, and then when we said we're going to do desktop product reviews, you would just go buy something and then review it.
All right. Tune in next time for a review of the master padlock that I should be keeping on my workshop, but I keep forgetting to go put back on the door.
Yes. Yeah.
But we're gonna keep doing improv segments, and we're gonna find some that stick, and we're gonna find some that
If there's
do not.
if you're listening to
sure.
this and there's any kind of segments or anything that you wanted to tell us or anything you want to hear from us, to tweet at us at Kind of Coaches. We're on Instagram at Kind of Coaches. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/Kind of Coaches. Like, get at us. Go to our website. I know this podcast is called Probably for Professionals, and as we get better at this, we'll get better at branding the podcast. But for right now, I'm going to promote our website. So, yeah, 30 minutes. We're at 33 minutes right now, and we're done with segments. So on the outline, it says podcast wrap up, Blake. But you're the producer, so I'll
on the outline that we're not supposed to make it obvious that we're reading from. I am trying to get a little bit less like we're talking about this with these details, and I want this mentioned. I'm trying to just be like, all right, this is our topic. We're talking about that for X amount of time.
Polar Nights.
I didn't even put a time.
Polar
on
Nights in chat says he likes his podcast. Man, this guy's the man.
We have one fan outside of the four of us and my wife.
Polar Nights, thank you so much, man. Go follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we haven't got there in the outline yet, Taylor.
Yeah, sorry.
Taylor, did you find anything cool this week, man? Did you see some cool YouTube videos? You got anything you want to recommend to our listener?
Okay, so this week it's been all about finding like stuff to put on the website, and like honestly, I have a web development business, so it's like stuff that I can get from my clients, or so there's this really cool website called Envato Elements. You can basically go on there and find any kind of like stock video, stock photos, stock sound. They got like logo drops or whatever. So I actually sat up like all night and made a logo drop, and I sent it to Blake. You'll probably see it. It's really just a really neat kind of website where you can. It costs like I think like $30 a month, but there's all kind of stuff on there. Other than that,
what was the name of that again?
It's called Envato Elements. It's part of a bigger company. I don't know. I just know that the website's name is Envato Elements. It's a really cool place. Other than that, there's still all kinds of stuff that people are marketing to me right now. Just because I've been in Google, you would think that I was starting the biggest small business you'd ever seen in your life. So you could imagine the kind of people that are marketing to me right now. Sorry.
Yeah. Do you get those phone calls about the extending your car's warranty?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got those people to hang up on me the other day.
Really?
I can't say what I told them to do.
No, I'm sure it was hilarious.
You can use your imagination.
Oh,
Hey, but I was just thinking, like, when you start talking about like all the stuff people start marketing to you, when you buy a car, like your whole relationship with your telephone changes.
Yeah,
I hang up on so many people now.
So in Twitch chat right now, Ultraviolet 412, he sent a link and said, "Is this it?" And yes, Ultraviolet. That is EnvatoElements.com.
Awesome. I am going to do. We're gonna release a companion blog post with as many of the podcasts as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm writing a few things down here, and I have to go back and listen to the episode and kind of talk about things we bring up, and we'll do our best to reference more cool stuff in the future, and we'll leave links for all that if anybody listens to it kind of retroactive and wants to figure out what we're talking about. The things I've been into this week. So we already talked about, I'm learning how to edit, or trying to learn how to edit. That's audio and video. So I haven't totally started yet on the video portion of that, but I'm
people like train for years on how to edit audio and video, and it's just like we just kind of like threw it together. It's like, hey, do you think you can put together an intro video and like all this kind of stuff in like I don't know, like 2 weeks? And Blake's like, yeah, man, sure, let's try it.
I have some experience because I write music and produce a little bit, and I make sound effects for mostly for band and stuff like that. But hey, man, if you're a filmmaker and need some sound effects, get at me. So I have some experience in working with Logic and Reason. Those are computer programs. Not suggesting that you come to me for Logic and Reason.
Well, I mean, you could. You are kind of a coach.
Yeah, you could though.
You are kind of a coach.
Okay. So I have a little bit of experience, at least, in putting audio tracks together and mixing them and trying to make them sound a little bit better. We definitely realized a lot of habits. So I called Taylor out on this habit he has of he'll start talking directly at his microphone and then he'll turn his head.
Dude, there's just so much going on right now. I have 2 screens in front of me with 4 different windows open. I have to turn so when I turn my head, I have to have the mic like directly in front of me.
Yeah, basically. But it wasn't just him. Like I last week I think I had my mic like all the way back here. And I just had my gain turned way up, but unfortunately it lost a lot of like natural voice quality. So if you listen to the audio from our first episode, it I don't know, it sounds weird. Everybody's audio is great, and then mine sounds like it's played through a shoebox or something. But so I've been trying to learn a little bit more about audio editing, especially human voice editing is something I have not really any experience in, is trying to make the human voice sound like a human voice, which is surprisingly difficult. You'd think you'd just hit record and then it's done. But unfortunately, that is not the way it works.
And that kind of...
I've also...
Sorry. Go ahead.
I've also, unrelated to the website and the podcast, I've been into hand tools.
Not
this
what
week.
you're thinking about, actual woodworking hand tools.
Yeah, woodworking. I actually meant to go get a couple of them from the shop and like hold them up, but I forgot. But specifically chisels and a thing called a hand plane, which is basically like you have a cast iron plate with two handles on it, and it has a blade that sticks through the plate, and you use it, you push it along a piece of wood, and it takes shavings off of it. And for that table that I built, I had to use one of those. I basically glued some pieces of wood together to make the legs, and then they didn't quite line up. You could see the little seam where I put them together, and you use a hand plane to smooth them out and make them look like one piece of wood. And I don't know, it was a lot of fun. It was really satisfying to like, you push this tool along a piece of wood, and this curly little wood shaving comes off.
Oh man, that does sound satisfying.
From yeah, it was like a zen moment, And I did it with a $20 hand plane I found on Amazon that is definitely not as sharp as it's supposed to be, but hey, it worked, kind of. So that's what I've been into, other than outside of kind of coaches and probably professional stuff, is hand tools. I don't own very many power tools or hand tools, and it's the first time. Well, like whenever I use something, I'm still so new that it's every time I use something, it's probably the first time I've ever used it. So I got a lot of that this week building that table. But you should go check me out on Instagram at MBM Matthew B Blake Lankford, LANKFORD 256. The numbers.
Man, we've got to change.
I know.
That.
I gotta change that at MB Lankford 256. Go check me out on Instagram. You can see the console table that I built my wife, and up there too. There's a few more projects I have up there. A bathroom vanity.
You can't see that, Courtney.
How about that? Does that work? Is it backwards?
No, that's good.
Okay.
So right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and plug. We've got a couple. We're working on a couple of things right now. I'm building a site for him. He's got a design company coming up called Peck Mountain Designs, PECK. We're currently building the website for it, and I have a web design and digital marketing agency. It is called Northgate Agency. We have registered the domain, and I'm building the website right now. So, yeah, we just have a ton of stuff going on, buddy.
We do.
Other than that, are we at, we're going to start plugging stuff? Well, I guess we already have.
I already kind of started plugging myself, man. You can find me, like I said, Instagram, MBLankford256. Twitter, MB Lankford, so drop the area code, just the name.
Mm-hmm.
And those are pretty much my two platforms of choice. I am on Facebook, but just don't do it.
Okay, so here's the end list of where you can find me. You can find me on here every Monday, probably Professionals Podcast. We record. I'm not going to nail us down to a certain time because that's a dumb move, but we record it, usually every Monday around 7. You can find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/kindofcoaches. You can find us on the web, on the internet at www.kindofcoaches.com. You can also find us on Instagram at kindofcoaches, on Twitter at kindofcoaches, on Facebook at facebook.com/kindofcoaches. Me personally, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Taylor Heath. You can find me on Instagram.com at I think KOC_Hanye. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get with you. I'm gonna have to get back with you. Like, I have a lot of usernames and they are quickly adding up. So for sure, you can find us. Just Google kindofcoaches.com and hopefully we pop up. That's something I've been working on, so hopefully it's been working.
KOC_Hanye.
Yes, KOC_Hanye. That's we're probably gonna have to work on that one too.
Yeah,
So a little treat for you guys next week coming up. We have an actual audio engineer coming on the podcast. He is going to teach us how to do a podcast while we do a podcast. How fun does that sound?
I'm excited.
Okay.
So there's one thing I love. It's hearing all the things I'm doing wrong. So
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Cool. All right.
All right, cool. Is he for sure on that one, or are we still?
I don't want to nail us down. So we might hear from him. We
Okay.
might not. So who knows?
Hopefully, he will be a guest at some point. We're hoping for next week. It's tentative for next week that he's going to be with
Yes,
us. But
very tentatively.
We'll check
We
it
really need to work on scheduling.
yeah, well, apparently we were actually supposed to have a third host with us. Our director of communications, Mr. Brian Baker, was supposed to be here. Unfortunately, he could not because scheduling is hard.
Yes, he's a very busy person, and we don't blame him a bit. So,
He's big in the entertainment business.
yes, huge. Huge. So yeah, all right, take us out, Blake.
All right, thank everybody. Especially how many we had? Two people.
We had up to 5 people watching us on Twitch, man.
5 people.
I know for
2 in
sure.
chat,
Polar
right?
Knights was watching us the whole time, and then he's still watching us. He's still in chat right now. And then another guy, Ultraviolet 412. Thank you guys
Well,
so much, man.
Especially thank them for watching us do this. We are, in case you didn't figure it out from the context clues, we're recording the podcast right now. We're also Twitch streaming us recording the podcast. I believe what's the title of our Twitch stream right now? 2 guys flop around trying to do a podcast.
I'll tell you. Come watch us build a brand from scratch. Probably Professionals episode 2.
There you go. So next Monday, sometime around 7, hopefully, you can tune in to Twitch, and because these episodes, I don't even know when they're gonna go, up onto podcasting services, but you can watch us try and hopefully succeed, but most likely fail a little bit.
Hey, but
at doing a podcast,
we might fail, but we're gonna keep going. So
That's
you guys
because
come watch a train wreck, and it'll be hilarious.
perseverance is key. Yeah, you're either gonna watch us because it's incredibly entertaining, or it's so bad you can't look away. I'll settle for either one. Honestly, I'm fine with that. But anyway, thank you to you guys that are watching us stream this on Twitch. Thank you for everybody for listening and subscribing and downloading and following us on all of our social medias. There were a whole bunch of them there. Like I said, I'm going to try to get a companion blog post together for this, and we'll have all that information in there. Hopefully, we're going to get a little better at podcasting every time we do
we will for sure.
a podcast.
We will for sure.
But so this has been probably
Nailed it.
This has been Probably Professionals, a podcast presented by kindofcoaches.com. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. That was Probably Professionals, episode 2, presented by kindofcoaches.com. Go check out the website. It's up. It's live. It's awesome. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
We gotta go. It's time to roll across the open like a yellow and she's about to blow. I don't know if it's all for show. If we really better hurry back and hit the road. I gotta say, she don't seem to play. She's calling up the muscle and they on the way. We gotta go.